Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and today I'm going to be taking a look at an expansion to Bali, a game I reviewed some time ago. This is Temple of Shiva. In this expansion, you are going to get a new set of cards that you're going to shuffle into the main deck. You are going to get a temple, some temple towers you are trying to build, as well as a few other scoring tokens, things like that. So, the original game, I'm not going to touch on that in this, as far as how to play it anyway, but I do have a review for that, as I said, so you can definitely go check that out first if you're not familiar with the game, okay? If you already are familiar with the game, though, and you want to see what the expansion is going to bring to the table, then let's go ahead and dive into that. On the other side, I'll remind you what I thought of the base game, and I'm going to tell you if I think this makes it better, or is it something you don't really need. Here we go. In the expansion, you are going to get this temple right here, made up of 4 pieces of cardboard. You're going to get 8 of these temple towers, 9 temple cards, a Shiva figure, and then a few more tokens with which to score in the game. You can just mix these into the base game tokens. And to set it all up, you're going to put this together. You're going to shuffle these up and put them in 2 piles of 4 each. You will then take the 9 cards and shuffle them into the deck, set up the game as usually, and then go ahead and play. The new card here is going to introduce a brand new action to the game. And this card has no cost at the top, so you don't have to pay anything, you don't have to pay stone, anything like that. The action, the cost normally actually would be here at the bottom. What you must do is, when you play this card, you are going to build one of these 2 temple towers. And the temple towers, this is going to be simply too hard to pick up on the video, but they have 2 symbols across the bottom. On the one side, it simply shows you the back of one of these goods with a question mark above it. And on the other side, it shows you one of the specific types of offers of goods. So for example, this one has rice, that one has the bananas here. And if you play the card, you must then build one of those. To build it, you must, from your own cards, from your own supply of these, you are going to have to give up the one that's listed. So for example, let's say I want to do this one. I want to build that. I'm going to take a rice from my own supply, put that back, and then I'll take any other one with no one knowing what it is, and I'm going to put that on top, and we would take this and we would, you know, slide it onto this thing and build it, which I never do because it's silly. And so we would do that, okay, just to build it, get it out of the way. That's all it does. It just gets built and goes away. Revealing the one underneath that. This card is worth 7 victory points at the end of the game, which is good because you just gave up 2 of these cards, which could potentially be worth up to 6. So that's how that works. Keep that card in front of you. You reveal, you grab one, reveal the next one, score the same thing. When someone scores when the last card revealed is one of these, meaning it triggers a scoring for that kind of card, whoever has the most of them gets any one of these they want into their supply. However, there's a new thing here with this figure, the Shiva figure, and that is every time someone plays a mask, a card that has the demon mask there, they are going to take this. So whoever played one last is going to have this in front of them. And every time one of these kinds of cards would be scored, because it just became revealed, then if there's a tie, whoever has this breaks that tiebreaker, which happens all the time. There's only 9 of these cards. So that's one thing. They do suggest in the rules that if you are using this expansion, you do not use the variant that utilizes the actual demon mask here in order to block a column, again, based on the original variant included in the original game. They say don't do that. Preferably don't do that. Instead, that symbol now means you get this. That's pretty much all there is to it. Once you've gone through all of these, it is possible someone plays the 9th one of these. There are rules for that, but you know, they say it's fairly rare. And the scoring at the end of the game is precisely the same, but now there are going to be more cards in here which are hidden which I do like. And we're going to talk about that in just 1 second. So we're going to go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. All right, so there you go. That is the expansion to Bali. So here's what I thought of the base game, okay? Just a quick reminder. I thought it was pretty good. I rated the game about a 6.5 out of 10. I liked it with fewer players more than I did with more. I did not think there were enough cards in the deck to feel like the game had developed fully in a 4-player game. And I also thought a lot of the information in the game was very trackable, meaning it was pretty easy to tell which of the 4 goods was the best one and the one you should invest in, right? Because whatever was offered up was affecting those values, but a lot of it went onto that pile face up. Thankfully, this expansion fixes a lot of those issues. There are more cards. There are going to be more cards on that pile that go face down. Right there, this is an improvement. But let's go ahead and dive in a little more closely and break this down. I'm going to start with the things I didn't like, work my way up to the things I do enjoy very much, okay? So my main negative here is the aesthetics. It's really my only negative. The temple that you are supposed to build from those 4 pieces of cardboard is completely useless. I'm not sure why it's in there. I assume it's because they need to, maybe they need to justify a box size this big. I don't know. Because what you're getting is basically, 9 cards and 8 little pieces of cardboard. That's it. So building up that temple is supposed to make it look slightly grander. I don't like it, I mean, literally in the first play of this that I had, a few minutes in, I took this thing and just threw it aside. And every time we build one of the temple towers, we just put them aside. You don't need to display it. It doesn't matter. It can just go away. So I don't like that. I think that's dumb. It's fiddly. And then the symbols on the towers themselves are really tiny. The ones that tell you this is the kind of card you have to give up, and then one of anything else that you affect the market with. Those could have been cards, for one thing, that could have simply been 8 cards, which you shuffle up, you reveal, 4 in this stack, 4 in this stack. They could have shown a larger picture of what you need to give up, and it would have worked fine. But they probably couldn't have justified a box this big when what you're selling me then is just 17 cards, So there you go. That's what I don't like about the game. The things are just okay. The theme. This doesn't really bring anything new to the theme that wasn't there before. Yeah, you're helping build a temple. It's pretty standard stuff. And then replayability. This is a single module, right? It's a single thing you're adding in. It's a fairly small thing. That thing matters, but it is small. Now, things I do like a lot. Game length. It actually makes the game longer, but that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing, because I do like that a lot, and I think now there is a little bit more time for things to develop. That's fantastic. Ease of play. This is a very simple set of cards and rules to implement into the base game, and I like that a lot. And then lastly, tactics and strategy. There is now more hidden information that is critical, that needed to be a thing. And they've found a way to give you a card that is going to cost you some goods, but it gives you right away 7 victory points, and it changes the market in a hidden way. Now there are going to be a lot more face down cards in that stack, making what's good, what's bad, way less trackable. And like I said, this is an essential fix, I would say, for the original game. So if you like the original game, this is something I would absolutely recommend. You should definitely have this included in there. This is the kind of thing that it's a requirement, I would say. It really brings up the base game. Now, it doesn't turn it into a fantastic game, but it's a much better game. I did not give the original game a seal of approval. I think it just missed the mark for me for that, But with this expansion and this expansion in and of itself is going to get a seal of approval from me, because I think it's a good one. I'm a little underwhelmed. There is so little in the box, but what is there was pretty critical to the base game and fixes my issues with it, So there you go. Bali Temple of Shiva gets a seal of approval from me. Really good expansion. If you have the base game, get yourself this right here. And that's it for me, folks. Thanks for checking this out. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.